Okay.
Hey, everybody, guess what? We are live. That was so fast. We're live this afternoon with Ondrea Johnson, Williamson County Animal Center. Ondrea, you're not in your office because you guys are not all at the center, but the animals are well cared for, right?
That's correct. We have actually, Donna, I have to take a minute to thank the Williamson County public, because the majority of the people have stepped up to either foster or hold their strays through, if they find a stray, they're holding them for the 5-day hold on what we're calling straycation. So it has allowed us to keep a big number of animals out of the shelter, and we've been able to, because we did that, we've been able to stagger our staff. So we're working in split shifts, and so I'm banned from the shelter on Thursdays and Fridays, so I don't cross over another shift. So I'm sitting here in my house hoping everyone remains quiet for us.
You mentioned some strays. I saw you guys posted a picture of a little pig that someone found. Tell me about that. You were just telling me it's kind of becoming a problem that they are showing up. You got one today, is that right?
That's correct. We got another pig today, and it is becoming a problem. I had prematurely bragged that Williamson County had not been sort of flooded with the pig problem that a lot of municipal shelters have dealt with, but it has been an issue for a lot of shelters across the country. People get these pigs. Pigs have become very popular. They are, you see these cute Instagram accounts with the pocket pigs and the miniature pigs, and they're so cute when they're little, and they're adorable. But the pig that was with us this week, she was so cute. She was only 16 pounds, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to bring her in my office, and I'm going to have a little office pig. After about 3 hours, I gave up because she was very messy. She loved to scoot her water bowl all over my floor with her nose, and of course the water was sloshing out. And so I think maybe a lot of people are getting the pigs, and when they're really little, they're adorable, but as they get bigger, they realize how difficult it can be to manage them. And so the 2 pigs that we've gotten in the last week have both been strays. So I don't know if somebody has just let them out, if their pig wandered away. Of course, they don't wear collars, so we have a hard time reuniting them.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I hadn't thought about that. So they don't necessarily microchip their pigs, do they?
I don't know if it's even possible to microchip a pig, but we haven't gotten one that was microchipped if it is.
I hadn't even thought about that. Well, tell me about the shelter. You guys, all the reopening has been announced, and you guys also have a phased reopening. Tell me how that's going to work.
Yeah, so we're, sort of going in, feeling our way through just like everyone else is. But right now, as I said, we're working split shifts, and we are going to continue to do that. We're probably looking at through the month of May. We're trying to continue to split our shifts and limit the number of people in the building at any given time, and that will include the public. We are asking the public to do their adoptions by appointment, which is what we've been doing. But what we will be opening up a little bit more is our intake department will go to taking in animals 5 days a week now. So Monday through Friday. We were just allowing the public into the building on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But starting Monday, May 4th, we will start to allow the public into the building every day of the week, but it will still require an appointment. So if you want to surrender your pet, you still need to go to adoptwcac.org and fill out a surrender form, and then someone will be in touch with you to make an appointment to bring your pet into us. And we do that, Donna, so that we can manage the census of the number of animals that are in the building so that we don't get overrun, and also so that we don't get too many animals in the building for the amount of staff that we have right now.
Yeah, talking about that right now, what does it look like? What does your intake look like right now in the shelter?
Mostly our intake numbers right now have been, as you would expect at this time of year, kittens and moms with their litters. This is kitten season. It starts usually early April in Tennessee. sometimes even a little bit sooner, and goes through about the end of October. And so people are out, I think we're getting a lot more kittens this year because people are home and they're finding these kittens. I mean, people have found kittens everywhere from storm drains to underneath bushes in their backyard. And sometimes these community cats are going undetected for the most part because they make their own living in neighborhoods and whatnot, but then they have their kittens and they look for a spot to do that. And so people are finding these litters and for cats that they didn't even know really existed. And they're bringing us the kittens. And I just have to make a little plug here that if you find a litter of kittens, please, please, please do not. First thing people want to do is grab those kittens up and bring them to us. But it's so much better if we can get the mama with the kittens, because the mortality rate for orphaned kittens is much higher than for kittens that are able to be raised by their mother. So I really encourage folks, if you find a litter of kittens, call us and let us walk you through how to determine whether or not there's a mama that's coming back for them.
Oh, that's good to know. I don't know if I've ever heard that before.
Yeah, it's much better if we can get the mom with the kittens, because otherwise, we have to get a foster who's willing to get up every 2 hours in the middle of the night and bottle feed these kittens, and it's quite a chore. So
yeah. And then you talked about the intake. Talk about adoptions. Are the animals still available to adopt? I saw some photos that went up today of new pets available.
We do have some pets still available for adoption. I think it's been a really popular time to adopt because our adoptions have really continued on, even though the public hasn't been able to enter into our building. The public has made appointments. We've had fosters coming back to the shelter to meet with the adopters, and we've really continued to have strong adoptions throughout the entire shutdown. So that's been really encouraging. I think when I left the shelter on Wednesday, we had about 10 total adoptable animals. So our demand has definitely kept up with the supply.
Yeah. And then you and I were talking about what are ways that the community can step in and help the animal center right now, since it's been closed and it's about to reopen.
Well, we, of course, always need fosters, and that will continue to be the case. Like I said, we've had a lot of people step up to foster during this time, but I suspect as people get back to work and start to have, appointments and lives again, the availability of fosters will sort of wane. So anyone who's willing and able to foster, we welcome you to join what we love to call our foster roster. So we want you to join our foster roster. We also, right now, I just heard from one of our kennel techs that we're running low on bleach. So bleach is something we use pretty extensively at the shelter, especially when we reopen. We'll be using a lot of bleach and water mixture to spray down all the handles and cage doors and all of those things to keep the public and our volunteers safe when they start to return to the building. So that's something we'll be using even more. Of course, during kitten season, we always need kitten food and kitten milk replacement. And there's a certain brand of milk replacement that our foster coordinator prefers to use. And all of that information can be found on our Amazon wish list.
Well, that's good to hear that there are things and ways that we can help. When you reopen, as you were talking about bleach, I was thinking about this. Are you going to require masks from people who come and visit the facility? What does that look like? Have you decided that yet?
Well, Donna, we are going to ask people to wear masks. I don't know that we will have a supply that would allow us to provide masks. And as I understand it, unless we can actually supply the mask, we can't necessarily require the mask. But I will be requiring all of my staff that interacts with the public to wear masks and gloves. so that we will be trying to model that behavior that we're hoping to see from the public. If you do have, a cloth mask that you use when you go to the grocery or when you're running other essential errands, we do ask that you consider wearing that when you come to the shelter. But like I said, we really can't require it because we won't be able to provide enough. I can't imagine that our supply will be such that we could supply that to every member of the public.
Well, there you go. Maybe that's a new need that the community could come up
There you
with.
go.
Make some masks available for the animal center. I love that. All right. Well, it's great to talk to you this afternoon and get us caught up on what's going on. And is there any interesting pets besides the pig right now? I know sometimes you get like, what was it I saw one time? I can't remember. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because we had a sort of a run on really exotic pets there for about a week, right when all the shutdowns started. And I don't know if it was because the owners were having a hard time finding food or what, but we had, in 1 week, we took in a hedgehog, a boa constrictor, and 2 sugar gliders.
Wow. Okay. I remember they were interesting, but I couldn't remember exactly what they were. Wow.
Yep. Yep. So the they've all actually, the hedgehog went back to its original owner, and I think the boa and the sugar gliders both got placed for adoption pretty quickly. But those are definitely animals that we're not accustomed to caring for. So we were having to do a lot of educating on what they eat, what they like, how do you house them. So it was interesting.
I might have a freak out moment if I saw the boa. I know you're a great animal lover and you always have been, but like, did that freak you out a little bit, or was you okay? Were you okay?
The snakes don't bother me. Believe it or not, little known trivia, birds. I'm kind of afraid of birds. So the snake didn't bother me, but when we get parakeets and things like that, I usually just admire them from a distance.
I don't think I knew that about you. I knew you loved animals, but I didn't know. I was thinking the snake, so I had it wrong. It's the birds.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think they're erratic, and I just don't, probably because I don't understand them. I probably need to get to know them a little bit better.
Well, I had a bird who flew into my house a few weeks ago. Like, one of the kids left the door open, it didn't get closed, and so yeah, that kind of freaked me out. I was walking through the house and something like runs into you, and you're like, what was that?
I know, it's traumatizing.
It is. They did not respect my social distancing.
Well, I have been asked by a lot of people, because you've probably seen in the news about the tigers at the zoo that are getting COVID. And so I actually have done a lot of reading, and there has been no proof that it appears that cats can get COVID, but there's no proof that it's passed from people to cats or back and forth. So I don't think it's passed the way it is between people. And luckily for me, since I have 7 dogs apparently cannot get it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yep. So you can put your mind at ease if you're a dog owner, and actually if you're a cat owner too, because even the cats that they have been able to get to test positive have not passed it back and forth between humans. So there's your trivia for the day.
I like it. That's our Friday afternoon trivia. Share that with your neighbors or whoever you're Zooming with tonight.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for all your good work there. We really appreciate it. And thanks for taking time out. I just called her up and I said, hey, let's talk this afternoon. Let's find out what's going on since everybody's going to reopen. So I appreciate you jumping in and doing this for us.
Oh, thanks for having us. It's always great to talk to you guys. Thanks, Donna.
All right. We'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Tell everybody there I said hello.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.